welcome back to Transmission Talks. I'm Taryn, and this is Joe.
Hi.
Last week, we covered repairs, return on investment. So we really break down the cost of what it takes to fix your car versus replacing it with a brand new one. Go check it out if you haven't already. Today, we're continuing that conversation by breaking down the early transmission warning signs and what they actually mean. Let's get into it. When drivers hear the word transmissions, why do they instantly get so panicked?
Generally because it's really expensive and it's very time consuming. It's not something I can do in 10 minutes. It's something that takes a couple days.
Do transmission problems automatically mean that someone needs a new car?
So not necessarily, but it all depends on what you expect out of the car. Do you like the car? Has it given you nothing but trouble and you want to do something different? It all depends, because some cars aren't even worth what the transmission repair is worth, but it's also cheaper still than buying a new car. New cars are tons of money right now. So it might be a cheap car, but it's still going to save you money to put a transmission into it than it is to go buy another car. So it all depends on what you need and what you expect out of it to make that determination on whether to keep the car or not.
Right. So what are those first signs that we may be looking for that signify a transmission problem?
Slipping, hesitations, random shutters that kind of feel like misfires in the engines, dark fluid, anything like that.
If transmission fluid is dark or burnt, how serious is that problem?
Typically pretty serious depending on how dark it is. If it smells burnt, that's kind of pretty much over
It's
at that
toast.
point. Yeah, it's done. If it's black, there's something's wrong. You know, if it's just got like a brown tinge to it and it's just starting to get dark, that's when it can be serviced and we can look at it. But anything real ugly that smells like, it literally smells like a campfire to me. You throw a bunch of leaves in a campfire.
Yeah.
That's what it smells like on the stick,
Yeah.
Or super dark, or a lot of times you can see silvering on the end. That's from metal from stuff grinding up.
Can a small transmission fluid leak cause bigger problems down the road?
Absolutely.
How far down the road?
It could be a week, it could be 6 months. Depends on how bad the leak is and how long depends on how long you let it go unchecked.
Yeah.
Because fluid is everything, and that's generally, especially on older cars, that's why they fail. Generally, there's a small leak somewhere, and they don't catch it, and a little means a lot, and I can't keep up with hydraulic pressure, and everything just fries.
How often is a transmission warning light caused by a sensor or pressure issue instead of something more serious?
So a lot of times it can depend on manufacturer, like heavily. Like a lot of Nissans and Hondas, especially Hondas. Hondas will have a lot of sensors, pressure sensors that'll go bad, and then we can get to them, and then it's no big deal. A lot of the time, you'll get, especially like American manufacturers, you'll get like a check engine that's related to a problem that's already happened. So there's no way to fix that once that's happened, and there's usually no pre-light that's going to save it. And so it all kinds of depends on manufacturer and what's going on with it, because most of the time it's a performance thing, so it monitors between sensors to see if it's getting what it's asking for, and then it's like, oh no, there's a trouble, and then it throws the light, and by then it's really kind of just too late at that point anyway. You're kind of getting more into it.
Oh no, there's a trouble.
Oh no, there's a trouble.
So what's the difference between transmission maintenance, repair, and rebuild?
So the difference is, maintenance is generally fluid and filter and making sure we clear out the fluid. A repair is anything other than a rebuild, so that would be changing a sensor, solenoid packs, or cooler lines, anything like that that's not involving tearing it out. And then a rebuild is me completely taking it apart of the bench and starting over, all new fresh seals, clutches, converter, and all that stuff. So that's the difference between those three.
Cool. So at what point does a rebuild or a replacement actually become necessary?
So if it comes in, the fluid's fried, and you got codes or quit moving or anything like that, it's got to come out and get rebuilt. Majority of the time when it becomes urgent is when they get towed in, they stop moving, or you can drive it for 2 minutes and it quits moving because the filter's clogging. There's no point. You can't do anything to save it. It's got to come apart.
Okay. How often do you see small fixable issues that could later turn into major damages if they are ignored?
Quite a bit, and it's usually leaks. People ignore leaks. They run out of fluid, run low on fluid, and it just causes a ton of heat.
Yeah.
Because you need it. You need to be full to help that, make sure that fluid is going to the cooler and circulating, keeping everything cooled down. Small pressure sensor goes bad, you ignore it. The transmission can't compensate the way it's designed to, and then it'll either spike pressure or reduce pressure. And if it does that for too long, it'll cause problems. So, and that's something small. That's an inexpensive repair that we could have done. And, now you broke splines or whatever because the pressure got spiked, so who knows. But yeah, no, that's small problems can turn big fast.
How can you tell if your transmission is leaking?
Well, the first thing I would check would be on the ground to see if you have spots or anything like that on the ground, puddles of oil.
What color would those puddles typically be? Because I know there's different kinds of fluids that could leak.
So it could either be clear, it could be like a darkish brown, it could be a bright red, depending on the condition of the trans. So it all depends on the condition of the age. If you just had your service done, it's going to be red. If it's older, it's going to be a dark brown. It'll be really thin. Like motor oil is much thicker oil. Trans fluid is going to be a lot thinner. And yeah, do not let leaks go. Motor oil is a lot easier. You check the motor oil, put a little bit in it. It's no big deal. Motor uses the oil in a much different way than a transmission does. Transmission uses it for hydraulics to actuate everything. As it reaches the filter and all the valves are actuating, it fluctuates a lot. So if you lose a little bit and you're starting to get to where the sump is sucking in air, they can't work right with any kind of air. There can't be air in the system. And that's why low fluid is it's a lot more different in a motor. Because a motor, you're pretty well above the sump and it's lubricating the crank as it's flying around, stuff like that. It does use it hydraulically too, almost like a trans, but a little different.
So, how does the cost of repairing a transmission compare to buying a new car? You know what? I think I need a service advisor to answer this. 1 second. Okay, this is Brad. Answer the question.
What's the question, Terry?
Okay. What's the cost of repairing your transmission versus starting a new car payment?
Oh, far less. Yeah, when you take into consideration you have a one-time investment into the vehicle that you could even potentially space out over in payments with us if you needed to with one of our finance companies, but it's going to be far less than a total investment into a new vehicle when you take into consideration the cost of the vehicle, interest on the vehicle payments, higher insurance rates, taxes, new tags, all those kind of things. Plus you're investing into a car rather than potentially something you don't.
Right. Can fixing a transmission help a car last another 100,000 miles or so?
Absolutely.
Or more?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
After having an investment like a transmission into a vehicle, you can expect to get a lot more life out of that car. It's one of those steps to getting it to that next mileage point.
Okay.
With proper maintenance, though.
Cool. Is it smarter financially to purchase a new vehicle or just rebuild a transmission?
It's definitely smarter to rebuild the transmission in your vehicle.
Okay.
Over years, it'll be much less investment.
Are you able to tell someone honestly if their transmission is worth fixing?
Absolutely. That's the first step when you bring a vehicle to Lee Myles with a transmission concern. We'll do our preliminary transmission test, and that tells us exactly what steps we need to do to fix the transmission in the vehicle.
Okay. So what do you say to a new driver who may be looking at new cars because they're scared of transmission repairs?
Sure. I think the first thing I would tell a customer is they need to work with facts. Right? You never want to make a decision on repair or buying a new vehicle without having the facts about what's actually wrong with your car and what it would take to have those issues addressed.
Right. So how would Lee Myles show what those issues are?
So some of the things we do, we already talked about our preliminary transmission check, which is a full test of the transmission. We also do our vehicle health report, which is a complete once-over on the vehicle. It checks not only the transmission that will be checked during that time, but also the safety and maintenance of the car to let you know that car's overall health.
Okay. If your car's been shifting differently or showing a warning light, it may be worth having it checked out here at Lee Myles. Join us next week as we'll be discussing speaking your car's language and understanding any noises that may come up and learning about your car in general. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.